Three entrepreneurs, one podcast, zero chance we agree on everything. This is the Ron Table, where the business gets real, life gets messy. Yes, drop in, opinions fly, and yes, moving quotes are basically a second language. Business, life, occasional dumpster climbers. Pull up your seat and let's get into it.
Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Ron Table. I am joined as always by my co-hosts Lady Belcastro and Nicole Gray. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
I think that kind of cements how we all feel nowadays. So let's take our overstressed, overtaxed brains out and talk about a different subject, and something that I think that we've seen talked about, especially with the RTO mandates and everything that we've been discussing. But let's kind of branch into this unlimited vacation time, right? So what is it? As an entrepreneur or whether you're in corporate America, unlimited vacation time has different meanings. And on the surface, it really sounds like a great dream perk. Let's be honest, if you're working inside a company, unlimited vacation usually means take time off at your own risk, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're your own boss, you technically have unlimited vacation too, if you count scrolling through emails and having calls while you drag your kids through Disney World all day long, right, with a laptop. So today we're going to start breaking down what we believe which version is better, or if either of them actually works. And I'll kick it off. Let's start talking about from the corporate side, right? Mm-hmm. Because unlimited vacation is like this great shiny perk, but I really feel like it's a trap, right? Do most employees actually take less time off with unlimited policies? Because you got that guilt and then the optics of not being there, right? And then how does that feed into the company culture? Does that matter more than the actual policy?
Yep. I can say I did work for a company, the job I had right before I went out on my own, and it did have unlimited vacation time. And they put a cap on it, so you couldn't take more than 3 weeks at a time, which isn't unreasonable for America. Europe, not so much, but here it's 3 weeks. But I did find that people took less vacation time only because they weren't stressed about having to use all of it up because you lose it kind of thing, or like saving it all up for the holidays. Like people took more like long weekends here and there. But it was like, can we really take unlimited vacation time? And if people did take those 3 weeks, it was very much you took 3 weeks, because that's what we do in America. We just work our asses off, and it's right. You don't deserve that. But it is like a weird balance, because you have it, but you feel guilty for taking it, and you don't know if people are going to judge you if you're in corporate. So I don't know how I feel about it.
See, that's so weird. And Lane, you brought up something good. You brought up something too that I don't think a lot of people know. We take the least vacation time to any other country in the world. Yeah. And this shame on it, which is just ridiculous. But then if we go on vacation, guess what? This has to go with us. Mm-hmm. God forbid you're on a cruise or you're enjoying something with your kids or whatever, and you get an email. And then when you get in the office, they're like, didn't you see my email? Yeah, but I was on a cruise ship. So it's like you can't even enjoy it. And I think I know when I was in my corporate space, I did like what Lainey said. I just extended my weekends. It'd be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Just I feel like if anybody took a week, we were all kind of, what? You took a week? Like, how did you make that happen?
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And like we should be taking advantage of it, because we're all burnt out. And everyone else in the world looks at us like we're nuts. So, like, we should be taking it. And I've gotten better with it over the years. Like, I've definitely, especially now that I'm on my own, like, it's a lot harder. But I have gotten better because I know that we need it. Like, we need to just unplug completely and not worry about it. Because at the end of the day, it's not life and death unless you're like a brain.
There was a time in my career, I don't know when it just happened, but something just clicked for me. I stopped asking. I let my manager know, because I was scheduled so far in advance that I would have my whole year planned out, especially when my son was born. So I'd have his, and when I had employees as a manager, I asked them to do the same thing. Let's just go ahead and plan it out. And sometimes around the holidays had to be like first come first serve because everybody can't be out, and people got that. It's like if whoever took out Thanksgiving knew they were going to have to like work over Christmas, so that was like a cool thing. But I was never one of those where I feel like some managers want to hold the power. Oh, Ron wants Tuesday off, and I'm going to say no. Because I feel like you're grown. You're an adult. So, like, if you take that time off, somewhere along the line, you're going to make it up, or you're going to do whatever. So I never got caught up in that. I used to hate those managers who felt like they want to hold it over you. You don't do this. You can't. No, I'm grown. And I know I'm going to take that time off because I'm going to be okay. Because I have so much credit from all the nights I worked or the weekends I worked. Or if I was at the game and I had to. Yeah. So I'm letting you know I'm off Monday. I'm not asking.
And we're adults. I think we can get our work done. So if we're not getting any work done, then that's a problem. But
yeah. And let's be honest, like a lot of those messaging would also then come from like your boss who was like coming to you along with the sales guru they hired to berate your people every week on a conference call while they were all transmitting live from a villa in Africa showing you the giraffe coming in their window. And the hypocrisy of it all. I want to be honest here and I want to cut the shit because we're doing some really good dancing around. Here's the real reason unlimited PTO exists. It was a company corporate cop-out, so they didn't have to pay the unused vacation time people were accruing and could never take. Right. They started by putting a cap on what you could carry over, and then they went unlimited because it avoided them having to pay it out if you left. And that really, for me, is it. That's the bottom line as to why that unlimited PTO is a crock of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a corporate cop-out.
Yeah.
I lived through that. I did. I remember when we had accumulated PTO and we didn't have a cap on what we could accrue. And I remember when it started to become, the first issue was with moms in our company that needed more than the allotted it. Oh my God, the word is
maternity leave.
Thank you, maternity leave.
Yeah, because
and they would cap out.
They'd have the cap in the end was a joke
bingo,
too.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of moms that needed extra time, and they actually started the policy change and that you could gift time into a pool for those individuals.
And what a concept! I needed extra time for having a baby.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. But if I'm not back in the allotted prescribed time, my job won't be held.
Right.
And HR will make you start to post and replace it unless people gift you their PTO time.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. And then it moved to, why don't we just do it as unlimited? Because then we don't have to pay it out.
Well, and also too, because executives were taking that time. So we were mirroring them what they were doing because we were like, oh, if Bob can take 2, I'm gonna take 2 weeks, but they're like, oh well, now if you take then you only have a blah blah blah. So it's do as I say, not as I do, like you were saying, Ron.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have, just like you said, you have that guilt factor.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Which is ultimately why we're all on our own.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to have that guilt. Even on your own, we can do whatever we want.
And that's what's so interesting because I think on the flip side of that, yes, we have more freedom, if you will, to take that time. You do find yourself still grinding on that time, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I can set my schedule. I can let clients know, hey, I'm not going to be here this week. I'm out, this, that, and the other. But if a prospect were to reach out to any one of us and we happen to be chilling in a villa in wherever, we will respond and just go, hey, I'm not in the country or I'm not here, but I'm looking forward to meet you. But we won't feel bad about it because it's our thing.
Yeah.
And that actually just happened to me this week. I wasn't away, but I had friends in town visiting. And so the only time they could be here was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I just didn't work Monday and Tuesday. But it was still like I had a prospect that was likely turning into a client and they were emailing me. So I would do a quick 10, 15 minutes here and there to just respond to emails. And she was doing the same thing. And I'm like, this is just sad. But also, it didn't feel as violating because it's hours and it's potentially new business. So we need that. But you really can't fully unplug.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at unplugging from existing clients, I will take vacation and just say, do not reach out to me.
Yeah.
Because I will not answer.
Yeah.
So I've gotten really good at that. But yeah, you still have to monitor
Yeah.
everything.
I think with both scenarios, you just have to ultimately understand that when you need a break and be okay to say it.
Right.
I
Yeah.
valued, first of all, I feel like a good manager, you can tell if folks need a break. You really don't want to wait until they're at the breaking point. I could see some of my employees and I'd be like, you know what? Once you take Friday off, and the other, I know what you've done all week. Friday, we gonna be okay. Like I used to tell them
Yep.
all the time, we are not saving lives.
Yeah.
We are in the tech. We are the
Exactly.
tech industry. I know you do best, but even if Facebook were to shut down, we gonna be okay. Okay.
Yep.
So with the product that we had, we're okay. Like we're not running into burning buildings, giving anybody mouth to mouth. They're gonna be okay. Take
Yep.
your time. We'll be all right.
See, that's a good manager. Other than, and I was working, of course, up in New York.
Yeah.
It's like you just work and they don't give a shit if you're burning out, nothing. It's if you, unless you are on your deathbed, granted, this was also 20 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe more. Ooh, that's gross to think about. But it was a long time ago. But it was very much if I was sick with the flu, obviously pre-COVID
Yeah.
days and all that, like you were going into work, like you couldn't take a day off. And if you did take a day off, I got grilled. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Are you going to the doctor? What are you going to the doctor for? I'm like, first of all, none of your business. Second of all, do you really want me in the office, like spreading germs or like just being burnt out in general? If that's the case, do you want me there just
No,
to,
but that same thing. That I felt like Dwight Schrute was in my office as far as like,
yeah,
looking at my medical history, going, "You should be okay to work today." It's like,
yep,
Dwight, get out of my face.
yeah,
Like, is the little thing called HIPAA,
yeah,
and I'm gonna need you to HIPAA
yep,
off me. Okay.
exactly. But it's very much guilt, no matter if you're in the corporate space or you're on
Yeah.
your own, which is just, it's really sad. So I keep trying to put my foot down. It's America.
Yeah. It's just the guilt shifts, right? If you're in corporate, you feel guilty about your coworkers, you have your Dwight Schrute standing over you. You know, when you're on your own, that guilt just shifts over to yourself because it's about, can you get this stuff done? Are you putting revenue on hold? Are you able to get with clients or customers and getting your marketing done and out and up and staying consistent so you don't lose your place in the never ending thought leadership queue that is the internet? Vacation or PTO for us usually means that we're willing to be on our own and take that risk because we decided that we could work with a cocktail in our hand because we don't
Yeah.
have to answer to anybody
Yeah.
about it. It's just that guilt shifts a
But
bit.
I was gonna say, I don't really think it's like guilt. I just want to make sure I'm on top of things. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not guilt, but I'm just always want to make sure like I've dotted my I's, I crossed my T's. Like I'm definitely. I feel like I was always in tune to my calendar, but it's more now because a lot of more pre-planning when you're by yourself. You know what I mean? I want to know if I go out of town. Like Ron, you want to make sure like that podcast is going to drop on that day, or Lainey, you want to make sure that if you had a project, it was released at that time because you don't want to be on the road calling you freaking out and you're like, oh, God. So I think it's just more being like you just really want to make sure you're on top of it so then you can enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the question, though, right? I'm going to ask you this open and honestly, because it's really not about, at the end of the day, how much time you're allowed. It's about whether you're actually going to take it and unplug, right? Because employees need permission. Entrepreneurs, we need discipline. What's harder? Is it asking the boss for time off? Or is it asking yourself to stop working?
Asking myself to stop working.
Asking myself. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I didn't care when I worked in corporate. I just told, like,
I'm like,
I already booked my flights. I'm going, and you can deal with it. I never cared. I was
Yeah.
like never going to
Yeah.
ask. I was like, listen,
Yeah.
it's my life.
And again,
what
I don't know when this thing turned on for me. I made sure all my doctors, dentists, eye appointments, OBGYN, I don't care, were always during the week. I feel like I earned that time.
Yep. Same.
So some days it would be a beautiful 7-hour day. Some days it a 3-hour day. But then days where I have the 16 hours day, again, I got credit. So y'all gonna be okay with this 3 hours. And I'm gonna need you to move on with your life. Okay?
Yep.
So.
But they don't. But they don't. Because we're jerks. But yeah, I think for me, it's definitely guilt for taking time away from my own business.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when, Lainey, you've been doing it longer than us, but I think for even for Ron and I, like we're that year 2 trying to get over that hump. You want to make sure we get in a place to where it's okay. We got a rhythm going. I don't want to
Yeah.
drop the ball, or I feel like if somebody reaches out, I got to reach out right back because they could be a fish. You know what I mean? It's like they're on the hook.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
got to jump on
yeah,
it. And that really doesn't go away. I'm sorry to tell you guys.
yeah.
It doesn't go away.
I think too what's interesting about it right now in this economic environment is simply depending what pond you're fishing from. As an entrepreneur, whether you're selling a product, you're selling a service, you're selling yourself, we're not operating on OnlyFans where we're selling our feet. We're doing something that matters. Yet.
We never know. This is a weird year.
I keep the peanut butter filled.
Yeah, you might all find us pretty soon on OnlyFans at, instead of the Ron table, it'll be the Ron Foot Corner.
It's gonna be the round table after dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's under the table?
But, oh my lord. Okay, we're gonna have to censor that.
Sorry,
but I love
sorry.
it.
That's a nice transition too. It's time
Yeah.
for the win and WTF.
Oh man. Oh, lady, you're on a roll. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, lady.
Oh, okay.
And her shirt says it all. Ciao.
Let's see. So, for my win, I've gotten to go to so many concerts over the past couple of weeks, and those give me life. So I went to the Shaky Knees Festival, and I saw all the 90s bands like Four
Oh,
Non Blonde.
nice. Yeah, I've heard of that. I remember that was here. Was that here?
It was right in Piedmont Park. Yeah.
Nice.
It's awesome. And then Blink 182. It was so fun. So that's my win. And then what the fuck is with Labubu's? I don't even know what they are. I don't know. All I see is the word, and I'm like, I don't want to know what this is. But what is happening?
They're ugly. That's what I know, and they cost me
What-
lots of money.
That's what I saw like a glimpse of one, and I was like, I'm gonna have nightmares. So why are these popular? I'm very confused. It's like the new Beanie Baby, but
Yeah.
The
not
new
really.
Tamagotchis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Those are my things.
Interestingly enough, I have one that actually covers both. So I don't know if you all are WNBA fans. I'm a fan. Atlanta Dream is big for us. Unfortunately, we didn't make it that far in the playoffs. But yesterday, or recently, Nafisa Collier, who is a Minnesota Lynx superstar, she came out with a statement. She called the whole league out. She called them out for poor officiating, lack of accountability. She called the commissioner out. And what's interesting is that would be like back in the day if Michael Jordan would have called out the NBA, because he'd been like the last person you'd think would call something out. So for her to do it, everybody was leaning in listening because they're like, whoa, this is deep. But she was just like, for our league to grow, you got to do better. And people are listening. And she also was part of when they get ready to do their CBA and stuff like that. So there are rumors they could possibly get the commissioner out. But even like the commissioner made a statement, she was saying in a conversation, Nafisa was like, why is it like you have Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and big names in the NBA, why are they making more money? And she basically said they should be grateful. Like with the money they're making outside the league, they wouldn't have made that if they weren't in the WNBA. Yeah, it's a lot going on, but I think we need that in sports. I think we need that.
I do too. Someone's got to call
Yeah.
their bluff. Basically.
Yeah. And then I will throw on one real quick one. Really upset what happened at the Ryder Cup, and all I have to say is go Europe. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Mhm.
Embarrassment. Absolutely embarrassing.
All right, Ron.
All right. So my WTF and for the win have to do with the same thing. So I'll start with for the win was one Mr. Jackson Dart of the New York Giants. While it wasn't exceptional, there was some real promise in his play.
Yes,
The
it's a win.
Giants won. He showed a lot of poise in there, no panic. Great grasp of probably what was a limited offensive playbook, but the kid really impressed me. I just hope that the Giants made the right decision here and they don't wind up breaking him because there's no offensive line. But staying with the Giants, it also leads to my WTF. What is it going to take, New York sports, for the Giants and Jets to do something about the turf at MetLife Stadium? How many knees, how many ACLs, how many MCLs, how many ankles, and how many more careers of your players and league players is it going to cost before you realize your field is the problem? Because here we go again. Malik Neighbors goes up in the air, plants, and rips his ACL.
Yeah.
How many more before
Yeah.
you realize you gotta change the field, man? You gotta change
You know
it.
it's bad when
It's
college
costing you.
stadiums have better fields.
Yes.
I know. That's what I was.
It's costing free agents. It's costing careers.
Yeah.
It's a horrible look. And the NFLPA is coming back and saying something. Like, you got to do something, man. But, hey, you know what? Sometimes when you got, like, really old, crusty, white, rich people, they don't like to make the change. So, there you go, Woody and Mara. Thanks a lot.
Everyone sell the little boo-boos and fix the field. Take the money.
We took Labubu's and threw them on the field. It would give it more stability. I don't
There
know.
you go.
But
Something useful to do with them.
so on the Labubu note, here's the truth as we close this out. So unlimited vacation, I don't think it's not magic, right? It's not a magic bean. It's not a beanstalk. It's for employees, but it's only as real as the culture in corporate that supports it. And for entrepreneurs, it's only as real as your ability to really take stock and be able to separate and step away, right? At the end of the day, unlimited vacation is just PTO with better PR. So with that, we thank you for listening in on another episode of the Roundtable. Nicole, Laney, as always, thank you for being here. And we look forward to seeing everybody and hearing everybody on the next episode. Keep your chair warm.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode of The Roundtable. Thanks for pulling up your chair, lending us your ear, and not touching our drum. Interested in more chaos and common sense and conversations? Well, make sure that you hit that like button or the follow button. Or drop us a question or a comment in the comment section below. Want to follow us on social media? You can check out more under the resources tab at www.elevate-talent-solutions.com. Or you can visit Nicole Gray at renewedimpact.com. Hit up Lainey Del Castro at lmbdigimarketing.com. And a big shout out to our producer and co-host Adrian Ruffhart at acrventures.com. Until next time, keep that chair warm. Not done yet.